Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome all of you guys, all my new parents to God's Love Learning Center. I'm Miss Sundaya, the provider and owner here. I want to just again take this time to welcome everybody. I know we have some new parents that I wasn't able to do the sit down of going over the policy with you. So I figured why not do this video so that way you can watch it, take your time watching it. I will in the link down below the description. I don't know if I'll be able to attach it. Otherwise, I'll just send it via email to you a copy of the policy so everyone will have access to that. So again, just wanted to welcome everyone here to God's Love Learning Center. We are happy that you chose um, this day here for your childcare needs. We're happy to have you here. With no further ado, I'm going to get right into the policy. It is here at the daycare. I do keep it available for anyone to come and see. All my parents can look at it anytime. So it is here in this binder, which is kept by the cubby area in its own bin for parent information. So we're going to dive right into this. It is pretty long. It's about almost 30 pages. So I want to make sure I go over everything in here so that if you do have any questions, again, you're free to contact me. You guys have my phone number, the email address for God's Love Learning Center, personal cell phone number, as well as my business cell phone number. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, or if you're watching this and you have questions, you can leave a comment and I will get that out to you or answer your questions as they come. So moving right along, getting right into the policy. The first page really just lists the goals of God's Love Learning Center. So I did revise our policy, my policy here. It was revised in August. I did add some things to it, revamped it based off experience. So moving right along. So the first thing that you will see when you do receive it in our policy are the goals here at God's Love Learning Center. So children who are children of God, who have positive self-concept, children will begin to identify with their own emotions. Children who are healthy and physically coordinated. Children will gain an understanding of their community by exploring people, their work, and their services. Children who can use language to communicate with others, children who express themselves in many ways, children who are cautious and who want to learn, children who are independent, children who have a love for reading, writing, and books, support and strengthen families while facilitating an optimal development of each child, and provide an environment of safety, support, and care, as well as providing healthy nutrition practices, physical activity, and screen time limits for children. So these are the goals of God's Love Learning Center for the children as well as for the families. Our mission statement of God's Love Learning Center. The mission of God's Love Learning Center is to cultivate a community of families and teachers working together to provide a high quality, safe, stimulating, and positive environment that enhances and fosters the physical, emotional, cognitive, creative, and social development of individual children through play-based learning and discovery. The mission will be implemented by practicing an emergent and constructivist curriculum that inspires children to learn through active engagement. So that is our mission here at God's Love Learning Center. And then we move on into our vision statement. At God's Love Learning Center, we envision that our children are able to become future leaders by being active participants in and shapers of their world, to grow cognitively, socially, emotionally, and globally through child-based and teacher-facilitated learning. And then the last part is our philosophy. Which I'm not going to go ahead and read that part. But that is our philosophy here at God's Love Learning. Or those are like the first 2 pages of the policy. Next, we move on into general information. Goslow Learning Center is licensed by the State of Wisconsin Department of Children and Families. We are inspected regularly to ensure that we meet licensing standards. Um, Childcare services are available without discrimination on basis of sex, race, color, creed, disability, sexual orientation, national origin, or ancestry. The Goslow Learning Center is licensed to care for no more than 8 children at any given time, and we provide care for children ages 4 weeks to 12 years old. We are open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then our closing list, I do list like the actual holidays in my policy, but the detailed closing list is which I already provided to all my parents. And then the different items that are posted for your review is my license, any correction plans, and any enforcement action order for temporary suspensions, anything like that is posted for all my parents to see. As well as when you come into the daycare, I do have a parent information board. So you will see there my menu, the daily schedule, different memos or updates, which I do make sure I inform that to the parents as well. Now moving into center policies. To ensure that the number, names, and whereabouts of children of care are known to the provider at all times, I do keep a written daily attendance. Um, Upon enrollment, I do hand out to all my parents your guide to regulated childcare. So that is given to each and all my parents so you guys know a summary of childcare licensing regulations as part of the enrollment package. For visitation, parents are welcome to visit the daycare at any time during hours of operation unless parental access is prohibited or restricted by a court order. If this is the case, the daycare will need a copy of the order to place in the child or children's files. Please understand that we cannot legally limit access to a parent if there is not a copy of the court order and on file at the daycare. Moving right along. Pickup policy. Here at Goslow Learning Center, schedules are very, very important. So if for whatever reason you're going to be picking up your child late or your child or children, you must contact the daycare to let us know. Because as mentioned previously, at any given time, you can only have 8 children within on the premises. So late pickups really affects ratio. So we want to make sure that we're picking up children on time and that you are contacting the daycare if you know you are going to be late for whatever reason. If your child is here past our closing time, which is 10 p.m., and no efforts of the parent have been made to contact the daycare, and that will result to your children being taken to the nearest police station, which for this location, it is District 7, right up the street. Please know that late fees will still apply to any pickup that is after their scheduled pickup time that is signed in the parent contract. So everyone has received the parent contract and listed their child's schedule. If the pickup time is after that, then there will be late fees charged. Moving right along, children release policy. Children will only be released to a person or persons that are listed in the enrollment form. So, anyone that you want your child to be released to should be listed on that enrollment form. Alternate arrival / release. We will not walk any children who attend school at any time from the center in the morning or after school. If a parent wishes to allow a school-aged child to leave to arrive at the center unescorted, they must provide written authorization for this activity. Such as a parent, if you want this to happen, we do need that in writing from you. For parents or guardians under the influence, if the person or another authorized person arrives to pick up the child, and that person appears to be intoxicated or under the influence of any drug, all reasonable steps will be taken to prevent the person from leaving with the child, including offering to call a cab or another contact person. While we cannot legally withhold a child from the legal parent or guardian, we will not release the child to you and will call the local authorities if we feel the child is in any danger. So please keep that in mind. One thing I really want to stress is that I stress to everyone prior to this video, but provider and parent communication. It is really important here at Goslow Learning Center that we communicate on a regular basis. I know in here I say daily concerning the needs and interests of your child or children. If there are issues or concerns that need to be discussed, please work with me to arrange a convenient time to discuss your concerns. This is to ensure that matters receive the attention that they deserve. Also, as a parent, it is your job to communicate with the daycare any changes regarding your child or children. So, communication here is very, very, very important. I hold that as like number one. I'm constantly communicating back and forth to all my parents, typically via text. I send out updates, memos, changes, anything like that. So if there's anything going on or whatever the case may be, I just ask that you have that same respect and communicate that problem or whatever the issue may be with me. Communication, like I said, is really, really, really important. Um, the next thing on down is insurance. The daycare does have insurance on the premises as well as business operations insurance. There is a confidentiality policy to protect each family's confidentiality. Gazelle learns to not disclose personal information regarding child or fact learned about a child or a child's family to anyone that is not authorized to receive the information. Um, Next thing in our policy is to note that all childcare providers are made mandated reporters of suspected abuse and neglect. If a childcare provider suspects a child has been abused or neglected, it is our responsibility to report that to Child Protective Services. So just keep that in mind. We are mandated reporters. We are here for the best interest of your children. Next is there are no concealed weapons allowed on the premises. I do have signs at all my entrances. So if when you came to the daycare, you did see these signs posted so that everyone knows that there's no weapons allowed on the premises during hours of operation. The next thing is what we provide and what we're asking the parents to provide. So parents are responsible for providing diapers, wipes, any lotions that you want us to apply to your children that you give us authorization for, any sunscreen. Parents are responsible for providing a change of clothes, as well as the car seat that your child rides in. They are a little one. We do provide the sleeping bag, mat, and the blanket/sleeping bag. We do have backup wipes and backup diapers are available, but if your child does run out, and we will send them in the home that okay, you do need wipes and diapers. We do provide baby water. We just ask that the parent provides the bottles. So we do have backup bottles if say you forgot a bottle one day, but we do ask that the parents provide the bottles. This is kind of moving ahead. We also do provide formula, but only a specific brand of formula. That is a very good start. The purple and the orange. If your child does take a different type of formula or is on breast milk or whatever the case may be, then you would have to provide that for your child. And then we provide the cribs and we provide the sheets, the labeled sheets, and then we just ask the parents again provide the sunscreen, lotions, insect repellent that you authorize for us to put on your child. We also do provide emergency backup of clothes. We do ask if the parents can return those back after we do send them home with the child. But please note that if we are asking you, like, of the items that we ask the parents to provide and you fail to bring those items, then care will be refused until you bring those items. Like especially if you can't communicate the reasoning why you can't provide the items, like we are very understanding. We're here to help the families as well. But if there's no communication on that end as far as why you can't provide the items, then we're asking you and it's a constant, okay, we're saying note after note after note, and the items have not been received, then care will be what am I looking for? Not suspended, but care will not be provided until those items are brought, whether that be diapers, wipes, or change of clothes. Now moving on to the enrollment part. We are on page 8. I don't want to keep saying the pages because that it feels like that makes it seem like it's longer than what it is. But I just want to make sure I go over every little thing so that all the bases are covered. Now moving on to enrollment and discharge or enrolled children. There is a trial period for all children. Will be on a 30-day trial period. There is no enrollment or registration fees. During the trial period, either the provider or the parents may terminate childcare without giving a 2-week notice. No prepaid fees will be refunded upon cancellation by the parent during the trial period. The enrollment procedure, parents must meet with me to discuss the child's specific needs, to review program policies, who will make a reasonable accommodation for your children with the disability as specified under the Americans with Disability Act. And then I list all the forms that need to be completed, which upon enrollment, I do give those forms to you, and then you fill those out, and that's how the process begins. And then we will inform you of any updates that are needed within a 2-week notice prior to the due date. So if I need a new immunization record or a new health report, whatever that may be, I will inform you prior to the due date of it becoming expired. And then I list my enrollment options. There's full-time, part-time, and home care. Discharge procedures. So reasons for a discharge based on for me. So this is also really important. I feel like from the past, some parents don't realize that I also can terminate childcare. Just like as a parent, you have that option to say this isn't a fit for me. I also have that option if I feel like this isn't working out or isn't a fit for you and your family. So reasons for a discharge are such but not limited to, so please keep this in mind. It's just a list, but it's not limited to just these things I state. So the first being failure to pay fees on time are grounds for immediate termination without advance notice. Lack of parental cooperation. So, that kind of correlates with the communication aspect. I'm communicating with you, but there's like that lack of communication, lack of being able to cooperate. Inability of childcare programs to meet the needs of the child. I will consult with the parents concerning how any problems might be solved before terminating care. The parent may be referred to other community resources in the event that the matter cannot be resolved or accommodated by God's Opening Center. Repeated failure to pick up the child at the scheduled pickup time. Failure to comply with the terms of the child care contract. So the parent contract, it is a binding agreement. If you can't abide by those rules and those terms in that contract, those are grounds for termination of your child care. And then the last one is failure to be at home at the drop-off, for drop-off. So please keep in mind it's important that kids are being picked up on time because A, you're only authorized for so many hours, and B, I can only have 8 kids at any given time, so please keep that in mind. So again, those are just some reasons. Those are not all reasons. But in the event that your services are being terminated by me, the provider, I do send home a letter and I do list why your services are being terminated. So, but hopefully I don't have to do that. So, moving right along, amount of notice required from provider and fees charged. We will give a 2-week written notice in an attempt to discharge a child and try to inform the parents of local resources that may be of help to them, except when the discharge is due to the parents' failure to keep current with fees owed. In the event that things aren't a fit here, I will 9 times out of 10 give more than a 2-week notice. Just honestly, because I know that sometimes it could take a minute to find another daycare. So I do keep that in mind, regardless of the reasoning behind a child being discharged. So I do give more than a 2-week notice, but the minimum that I am requiring myself to give is a 2-week notice. And then for parents, if you choose that this isn't a fit for me, because that's perfectly fine. Then I just ask that you give me a 2 week notice prior to the last date of enrollment. But a 4 week notice is preferred. All right. So moving right along, payments and refunds. When fees are due for parents that receive Wisconsin shares, fees are due at the first of the month. Um, and for private paying parents, fees are to be paid 1 week in advance prior to services. Um, and then, with that being said, a payment schedule will be arranged and detailed in the parent's contract. So parents will be responsible for any, and all parents will be responsible for any specified co-payments or unpaid amounts. So that's more so for parents that receive Wisconsin shares, because Wisconsin shares typically does not cover the entire cost of your child care. Um, like I mentioned earlier, there are no registration or enrollment fees. I will establish a regular rate based on your children or child's hours of enrollment. Um, for additional hours or additional care, there is a $5 per hour fee that exceeds the hours per week. Um, there is no reduction for children for additional children from one family, because we are limited to the number of children that I can have in my daycare, and we are a small family daycare. So I can't offer discounts because there's multiple children in the same family. And then no refunds will be given for days when children do not attend due to illness or any other reason. All right. Next part is co-payments. So like I said, co-payments are for families that receive Wisconsin shares. You will be responsible for paying a monthly copay per child. The rate and due dates will be given to each family after the subsidy payments have been applied. So I do try to make my copays super, super affordable for all my parents. I do offer 3 different options. The first thing, you can pay the monetary dollar amount. Secondly, for parents that receive food share, you can bring in extra snacks that are equal to or total the monetary dollar amount. I do have an approved snack list because I do serve foods that are healthy. Literally, excuse me, all the food that I do serve in there is really, really healthy. Sometimes it ain't too healthy, but I want to make sure that the kids are eating the best possible food that I can. So I do have an approved food list that you can pick and choose items from. The last thing, you can volunteer on field trips at a rate of $7.50 an hour. And so, depending on how much your copay is, I will divide that, and that would determine how many volunteer hours you have to do. But then you can also do a mixture of all three. So, say you're like, well, I got $10 here. I'll bring in $20 worth of snacks, and I'll, volunteer for the last few, like 2-3 hours. Whatever, however that best suits you and your family. I do have those options. Excuse me. I should have brought my juice over. My voice. All right, then there is a late fee. So if co-payments are not received by the due date, or there is an arrangement that hasn't been made, then there will be a $3 late fee per day. I do stress that because it's all about communication. If you know that, what, Miss Day, I'm not gonna have my payment on the 10th, I'll have it on the 14th. Just communicate that with me, but I can't help if I don't know. So that's the biggest thing. To avoid late fees, just communicate with me. But if there is no communication, and then or you wait to 2 days pass, there will be the $6 late fee charge, and then the arrangement will be, will take into effect. The next page is child absences. If you know your child will not be in daycare, please let the center know as soon as possible, or at least 2 hours before your child's scheduled time. I really strongly stress this just because, like I said, this is a small family daycare. So I do base everything on who's all going to be here. So from activities to, food, I determine, okay, how much food I need to cook, or, what activities we're we're going to do. I base all that on the number of kids I'm going to have. So if I'm counting your child to be present and then you're not present, that kind of throws off some things. And it's good to know when your child's going to come and when they're not going to come. So I just really stress that parents, your kid's not going to be present, then you can either shoot me a text or you can call. Either one works. For provider absences, I will take a 1-week vacation per year. Feel like the chances of that happening this year are kind of like slim, but I will be taking that vacation and I will inform my parents at least 30 days in advance so you can make alternative arrangements. Moving right along, more so goes into the orientation plan for emergency backup providers and being informed of the name, where the location of files are, procedures and risk of SIDS, and all that good stuff. Moving right along is health. For children who are ill, they should not be brought to the center. So if you know your child has a temperature of 100 degrees or higher, is vomiting or diarrhea has occurred more than once in the past 24 hours, has a contagious disease such as a chickenpox, strep throat, or pink eye, has an unidentified rash, has not been on prescribed medications for at least 24 hours, or continues to have symptoms of illness, and lastly, has a constant thick colored nasal discharge. If your child is displaying any of those symptoms, please keep your child home for the health and safety of all the other children here, as well as myself. I understand, everyone's working. I get that, but if your child is sick, it's best that they stay home and get better. That only makes my job harder, and B, that puts everyone else in the daycare at risk. I'm just being honest. If your child was to become ill while at daycare, the parents will be contacted immediately. Sick children will be isolated within sight or hearing and made as comfortable as possible. Children should be picked up within an hour and a half. If child is not picked up within 2 hours, the emergency contact person on the child's enrollment form will be contacted. So if we do contact you because your child has become ill, we do ask that you pick them up in a timely manner, an hour and a half. By the time that 2-hour mark, we're calling the emergency contact person. Because like I said, sick children truly do need to be at home, because all it does is put everyone else at risk of being sick and catching what your child may have. When a child may return to daycare after being ill, they may return when they are fever and symptom free and have been appropriately treated or have been given medical approval to return to childcare. Alrighty. And then page 15 basically just lists the different procedures for reporting communicable diseases, emergency medical procedures for head injuries. I received first in training in first aid, and I follow standard emergency medical procedures in treating injuries. For minor injuries, they'll be washed with soap and water and covered with a bandage and treated with ice. Parents will be told about the injury when the child is picked up at the center or delivered to the parents. And there will also be an injury report filled out and given to them. And then we do report all injuries or file all injuries in a medical log. Procedures for giving medicines. We will administer medications under the following conditions. They are prescriptive and non-prescriptive medication will only be given to children. Only parents have completed the authorized form. So if you know your children needs to take medicine, there is a form that I would need you to fill out before we can administer any medicine to your child. As well as applying sunscreen or insect repellent. We would need that in writing, which those forms are already included in the enrollment packet, which you either authorize us to or you authorize us not to. There is no smoking permitted on the premises of the center during hours of operations. The next part goes over SIDS. to reduce the risk of SIDS, we do the following. Children sleep on their back, children 1 and under. There are no fluffy blankets or pillows or anything else kept in the children's crib while they're sleeping. And the sheets are nice and fitted to the mattress. Next portion is nutrition. I'm realizing, looking at the time, it's already been 30 minutes. Sorry about that. Well, it's already been 30 minutes, and I still have a nice little chunk left of like, I guess this is like information to try to speed through. But I'm gonna make sure I get everything to you guys. Nutrition, we do follow the USDA guidelines and planning out menus. Like I said, I really try to make sure I'm serving healthy, clean foods to the children. Making sure they're getting their fruits, their vegetables. I like to introduce new foods to them as well to expand their food palette. They're not just eating the same things. I know I do pick up things that I know that they will like, as far as things I've served in the past. Like, I like this. Example: veggie chips, veggie straws. I know one time we tried agave. I realized that that's not for us. I've introduced kiwi to them. We've had mango. We do watermelon. I love the fruits, the vegetables. They're still kind of on the fence on, but I try to make sure I'm, giving them their vegetables as well. Listed in here, I have the schedule of our snacks and meals. If your child has any food allergies, we just ask that you notify the center in writing, as well as if there's any special diets. Parents are at any time can see our menu. Parents of daycare is posted out on the parent information board, and we do participate in the food program. So that it's also reassurance that our foods that I'm serving are healthy and clean, because I have to serve healthy and clean foods to the children. For school-age children, there will be a snack upon arrival from school offered to them. And again, I do provide Gerber Good Start formula. So if your child is on a different type of formula than that, then that will be something that you would have to provide for your child. And then if you do breastfeed your child, you just have to provide the breast milk, and then I would heat it up here in the hot water. Moving right along, our daily activities, we do religious instruction / education practices. So we have prayer for meals and snacks. We do read the Bible. We do read the Bible and learn scripture verses, and we do celebrate Christmas, Good Friday, Easter, as well as other holidays. So those are like some of the Christian holidays that we do celebrate, and we do look at it from a Christian standpoint. We do have planned activities that are appropriate to each age / development of all children, from language development, large motor skills, small muscle skills, creative expression, self-help skills, and literacy skills. And then infant and toddler programming, their schedules are very flexible. Toddlers, I know I have a toddler. He kind of does his own thing, and so they're not really on like a structured schedule, but they do kind of follow, like especially like the 1 and 2 year olds. I know like the 1 and under, they do their own thing. Babies, they do their own thing, but like the toddlers, we do kind of get them on that schedule as well. We do have outdoor play unless it's heavy rain, temperature above 90 degrees, wind chills of 0 degrees or below, and then wind chills 20 degrees or below for children under 2. Then we won't go outside and we'll just have indoor play. There are no swimming pools on the premises. We do provide rest / nap time for children younger than 5 years of age when in care for more than 4 consecutive hours. If children don't fall asleep within 30 minutes, we do allow the children to do quiet activities. I will provide television time for the children. During that time, only educational programs are allowed to be watched. We do have field trips that we do take the children on. Emergency information for each child will be taken whenever we leave the center. And then child guidance. There, here is all about redirecting. So we do use timeouts, but we do not spank, hit, pinch, shake, slap, twist, roll. There's no verbal abuse, no threats, the derogatory remarks about the child or the child's family, physical restraints, binding or tying the child. We don't do any of that here. The only thing that we use is the timeout procedure to deal with unacceptable behavior. There are no pets on the premises. Listed, we have our emergency procedures for we do fire drills and tornado drills monthly. And then lastly is just in a sheet of the items that we ask the parent to provide and the items that the center provides. And then the last sheet is, well, not the last sheet, but the next sheet over is our rate sheet of our rates, which we do have this posted on our parent information board. Next, next you'll see is our schedule of daily activities. So when breakfast is, snacks, group time, outdoor play, all that is listed here. And the last thing is just the form for all the parents to sign. So this form will be going home with everyone. Send this back as proof or showing that you watched the video. And that is it. I was hoping to be able to do this in all of 30 minutes or less. I went over that time frame, but I'm going to make sure that I get all the information out to you guys. This is replacing that one-on-one sit down, which typically it takes me about this time, sometimes longer, but there's the back and forth conversation. But I hope that this is very informative for you all. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever regarding anything that's in this policy, please do not hesitate to give me a call or shoot me a text. Again, I will be emailing you guys a copy, a PDF copy of the policy so you can have it for your records. As I mentioned, I used to print them off, but I know that many times these things, at the time it was over 30 pages long. I know it would get lost, it would get misplaced. So everyone has an updated copy. I will be sending out a PDF version of the updated revised policy. Again, this is here at the daycare. So if you're in here, you stop by, you have a question, you're free to come and look at it. But I'm going to make sure that everyone has the most updated revised copy. So this I'll be sending out via email to everyone. I believe that is everything. I want to make sure I get all my little words out. I'm not forgetting anything. Let me think. My brain erasing. Let me think. That is it. So with no further ado, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you found this very, very, very informative again. I hope everyone has a blessed and prosperous day. I look forward to seeing everyone on Tuesday. I guess I maybe should specify just a day, but I look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon. Remember that I love you, God loves you, and ultimately I want everyone to stay blessed and have a great and prosperous day. Bye, everyone, and again, thank you all for choosing God's Love Learning Center for your childhood needs. Bye.